Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
Got a wild one here from Washington, D.C., sent to me by Brian from WUSA Channel 9, written by Eric Flack, Aaron Spont, Becca Knier, and Nick Rule. Woman says she's been plagued by Amazon deliveries addressed to a stranger. They are to her address, but to someone else's name that she's got no idea who that might be. But the boxes keep coming. She's lived in D.C. for 30 years, but something strange started happening this past fall. Amazon deliveries for items she didn't order addressed to someone else at her address. And I've been thinking about this one. Is there any possible scam going on here? I don't know what this could be. She said it's not just one or two Amazon boxes. She's received almost 80 so far. 80. Well, that's the game. Everybody asks me how many Amazon boxes today, and they don't mean my shopping. They mean missed deliveries. A couple of weeks ago, she got 35 boxes delivered. That's a week, 35 in 1 week. 14 in 1 day. In 1 day. Guy shows up, starts stacking boxes up on her porch. She says it was 2 rows, almost up to the covering, top of the door. It looks like these big towering blocks, children's blocks of Legos all the way up to the covering, the door of my house, she explained. Now, the packages are addressed to somebody named Meng, M-E-N-G. And the woman here says she doesn't know anybody named Meng. So she said she called Amazon and told them the packages were not hers, but instead of coming to get them, they said, well, you can just keep them then. You can just keep them. And by the way, that is a situation that is true with stuff coming from the postal service, post office. But with a private delivery company, if these are being delivered by Amazon itself or some third party, that may not be as clear cut in terms of there being an actual law that says you can keep them, but we'll get there. Packages contain children's bedding. The bulk of them contain children's bedding. She said she tried to give the bedding away, but the boxes keep coming. They kept coming and coming and coming, she said. She said she's tried stopping the delivery drivers when they walk up to her porch, but they won't stop. So in other words, she says, excuse me, those are not for me. They go, sorry, lady, we got to do what we got to do. She says they won't take it back in the trucks. It's like they just leave it. This is yours, they say. She's been hauling back and forth these boxes to the Amazon return center at a Whole Foods nearby every time another stack shows up at her door, which she says, well, it's very frustrating on multiple levels. And, you know, she could haul them out the garbage and throw them away. But I'm sure on some level she's thinking that's wasteful. And, you know, how do you stop them from coming? Because if you just take them in and throw them away, it might be that that's not enough to get that to stop. Now, you'd think that Meng, or whoever it is that ordered all this stuff, might realize somewhere down the road that they're not getting their stuff. I mean, someone's paying for this stuff, right? You'd think. So she says she's called Amazon over and over again. The company has not helped her. The return addresses are, of course, from Amazon delivery centers, but they're from different ones. So it's all over the place. She said because the orders aren't from her account, Amazon refuses to remove her address from this account of whoever is ordering all the boxes because they need to protect the privacy of the sender. Although they're the sender, I assume it's the privacy of the buyer. So the TV station reached out to Amazon and made many calls and emails. And a spokesperson told the TV station that they had reached out to this woman and apologized. And they have also agreed to start picking up the packages from her home when they get dropped off, while it works with the seller to stop the deliveries altogether. Now, a second mention of the seller might mean that this is a third-party seller, and they're all coming from that one entity. In other words, one third-party seller that has an agreement with Amazon is behind this, which could be part of the problem, but still doesn't explain why somebody thinks this is their address and hasn't noticed yet that they haven't gotten their 80 boxes. She said she received 9 more since the interview she did with the TV station. This is ridiculous, she said. So they asked her if she thought this might be an elaborate prank, but she said she doesn't think so because she estimates that the value of all the stuff she's been sent is about $4,000 all told. So it's an interesting story, but it just shows you this world we live in. Modern technology is amazing, some of the stuff they can do. And so I've mentioned probably before, I've ordered stuff off of Amazon in the morning, and got it that afternoon. And, it's Amazon Prime, and they go, well, we'll try to get it to you by tomorrow. And I order it, and it goes, it'll be there this afternoon. And I'm like, really? Next thing I know is somebody delivering what I ordered that morning. And so that's an amazing service. And of course, if you go onto Amazon and look up any common thing, you'll discover that not only does Amazon sell it, but a whole ton of third parties sell it through Amazon. So that when you place your order, you're actually buying it from this third-party seller, and Amazon is simply acting as the clearinghouse of the transaction and taking a slice. And so it could be that these are all misdelivered, but there's one third-party seller involved, and that's who's made the big mistake here. But I've heard a lot of stories about people dealing with Amazon, both good and bad. And I've heard some nightmare stories about people trying to get a hold of somebody at Amazon to speak to somebody. Can I talk to a human being? And there are several entities out there, not just Amazon, where if you wanted to speak to a human, good luck. And trying to get them to fix something like this, I mean, they've got 80 misdirected boxes here, but do you know how many boxes they ship a day? And it's literally like statistically insignificant. But of course, it's not to the woman who's got 9 more boxes on her front porch since they did this story. But I remember doing a story not so long ago about the guy where somebody accidentally dropped off a big screen TV at his house because his street address was the same, the street number, as where this thing was supposed to go on a different street. So instead of being like, 1234 Main Street, it was shipped to 1234 Fake Street. And so this guy on Fake Street gets this big screen TV, and it's not addressed to him, but the address is close. Brings it inside, opens it up, plugs it in, puts it on the wall. May have put it on the wall first, then plugged it in. I'm not sure about that. But later, somebody comes around and goes, hey, did we drop off a TV here? And they can look inside. Boom, there it is. So the fact's the case where the guy got the TV misdelivered to his address, and he kept it. And I did a story about that, and a lot of people said, well, Steve, if something's sent to your house, you get to keep it. Well, no, you've got to take a good look at this, because there is a portion of the code regarding the United States Post Office, the actual postal service, okay? If unsolicited things are sent to you and they're addressed to you, you have a choice to return it to sender, throw it away, or keep it. But you do not have to pay for it. But it's something unsolicited that's been sent to you and is addressed to you. And that law was enacted to crack down on a common scam back in the old days. Because there was a time, a long time ago, where scammers would take something that they thought would look valuable, but wasn't. They send you this thing, and they say, hey, this is something we'd like you to have. All it costs is $19.95. So send us $19.95, and you can have this. And you want more, let us know. And we can get you more at $19.95. That's the introductory rate that we have for all our good friends. And of course, the thing is worthless, or they get them for like a nickel, okay? But they're hoping that some people out there to get it and go, well, I have it now, and returning it will be a pain. I guess I owe them $19.95. And sometimes, by the way, they would actually say, here's something, you now owe us $19.95. So, Postal Service enacted a rule that simply says, if it's addressed to you and you did not order it or ask for it, well, that's on them. They shouldn't have done that. So if you want to keep it, keep it. You want to throw it away. Or you can return it to sender if you want to. But that's up to you. But the problem we have with the situation with Amazon or some third-party shipper is it's not the Postal Service. And that rule explicitly is about the Postal Service. Now, in this woman's case, the stuff is being sent to her address, but it's not addressed to her. However, I think most people would agree that she would only be obligated to, at first, let someone know that something was sent to her and was misdirected somehow. It's got the wrong address, and we have no idea who this person is. But I think once she makes an effort to do that, and nothing happens, she's well within her rights to throw that stuff away. And I think she'd be well within her rights on the first box it shows up to simply write, not at this address, put it out on the front porch, and call Amazon and say, come get it. And, you can return stuff to Amazon that came from Amazon. I've done it before. I've gotten broken things from Amazon and I returned them. And there's a process for that. Now, it might be that they're going to say, well, we'd like you to bring that to a drop-off location. But if you didn't order it, why would you have to go do that? So that's what she could do. But it sounds like she's actually one of these people who's trying to do the right thing. But after 80 boxes, I think the right thing blew past her a long, long time ago. At this point, I would literally just haul them to the curb and hope people would steal them. Hope people would steal them, because if you take them to the curb, they're not stealing. So there you go. It's a crazy story from WUSA 9. Brian, thanks for sending it. Eric Flack, Aaron Spott, Becca Kinnear, and Nick Rule wrote that. And hopefully they got those packages to stop coming to that woman's porch. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. If wishes were dishes, we'd have a full set.